Once there was an explosion.
RTX 3070 is faster than the $1,200 RTX 2080 Ti, starting at $499.
And then came the next explosion.
It is beautiful. Look at this. The RTX 3080. It is wonderfully crafted. It's going to look beautiful in your PC.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. The new Nvidia Ampere cards have finally been unveiled, and the RTX 3090, the RTX 3080 and the RTX 3070 look like absolute monsters. Nobody likes seeing a mark on their glorious 4K screen. Let's get rid of that. Log on to www.cdkdeals.com, search for Windows 10 Pro in the search bar, enter my offer code GV20 to get an additional 20% discount and proceed with the payment. Once you complete the purchase, you can get instant access to your Windows 10 Pro key and activate your Windows 10 and say goodbye to that watermark once and for all. CDK Deals is an official platform selling official Microsoft keys, game keys including Steam, Origin, Uplay and PSN and Xbox cards. You can get all these keys at lower prices than their official channels. Use my offer code GV20 to get an additional 20% discount off your purchase. Even the lowest spec, lowest priced of the 2nd gen RTX cards, that is the RTX 3070, is able to outperform what was yesterday the fastest growing consumer graphics card in the world, the RTX 2080 Ti. That was a $1,200 or 1 lakh rupees graphics card only till a few days ago. And now we can get better performance than that for less than half the price. Anyone who bought a RTX 2080 Ti recently no doubt will be gutted. The CEO of Nvidia, Jensen Huang, is calling Nvidia Ampere the greatest generational leap the company has ever made, even more so than Pascal, and from the performance claim Nvidia is making, that doesn't sound like too much of a bluff this time around. The RTX 3080 is said to be almost double the performance of RTX 2080 and considerably faster than the Turing flagship RTX 2080 Ti. This claim was confirmed by Richard Ledbetter over at Digital Foundry. I will leave a link to that video in the description below. You can also find the comparison between RTX 2080 Ti and RTX 3080 in Doom Eternal running at 4K Ultra settings. The next card in the stack is the RTX 3070, which will perform better than the RTX 2080 Ti, a card that costs more than double than the RTX 3070. This is a huge deal and will really drive home some serious sales for Nvidia. And then we have the big brother of them all, the behemoth, the card to flaunt, the RTX 3090, which is touted as the first 8K 60fps capable consumer grade gaming card. This card is more like the successor to their Titan series of enthusiast cards, which again used to come at much higher price tag of $2,500 previously. Now let's take a look at the specs these three cards will be offering. One major shift that Nvidia has made with this generation is deciding to go with Samsung 8nm nodes instead of TSMC's 7nm. This is an interesting choice for a company who traditionally stuck with TSMC for their chip manufacturing. Taking a look at the rough individual specs, the RTX 3090 will be a true powerhouse with 10,496 CUDA cores running at 1.4 to 1.7 GHz. It will boast of a mammoth 24 GB of GDDR6X memory at speeds of up to 936 GB per second. It has 69 teraflops of ray tracing performance and has a TDP of 350 watt. The next in the lineup, the RTX 3080, comes with 8,704 CUDA cores, which effectively is double the CUDA core count that the RTX 2080 Ti boasts of, running at same frequencies like the RTX 3090. The RTX 3080 will come with 10 GB of GDDR6 memory running at 19 gigabits per second on a 320-bit memory interface. It has 58 teraflops of ray tracing power and claims a TDP of 320 watt. The last card to be announced and the most enticing of the lot for most of the buyers, the RTX 3070, will be offering better performance than the RTX 2080 Ti for less than half the price. comes in with 5888 CUDA cores running at 1.73 GHz. The RTX 3070 will have 8 GB of GDDR6 memory running at 16 gigabits per second on a 256-bit memory interface and accounting for 220 watts of power. Coming to the price now, and this is where Nvidia has hit it out of the park this time around. Nvidia received a lot of flack, and quite rightly so, after announcing the massively overpriced RTX 20 series. Coupled with lackluster performance gain from the previous generation, and the Turing RTX series seemed like a criminal cash grab from a big corporation and nothing else. This time around, however, Nvidia came back to their traditional pricing structure, and along with that, massive performance uplifts from the previous generation. The RTX 3070 is priced at $499 and in India it will come at 51,000 rupees and will provide better gaming performance than the $1,200 or 1 lakh rupees RTX 2080 Ti. That is almost half the price you're paying for literally playing most games at 4K 60fps. The immense value for money proposition of the RTX 3070 will surely make this card the most sought after in the current RTX Ampere lineup of things. The next step up is RTX 3080, which Nvidia, unlike previous gen, is touting as the flagship consumer card this generation. It is said to provide double the performance of the previous gen counterpart, the RTX 2080, at same price of $699. It will also be considerably faster than the RTX 2080 Ti, even at 60 to 70% of the price. The RTX 3080 is priced at around 71,000 rupees in India and is aimed at providing that smooth 4K 60fps gameplay with all the ray tracing bells and whistles enabled, which is clearly a first. And lastly, the chunkiest of them all, the big brother, the lord, the RTX 3090, coming in at around a whopping $1,500 or 1,52,000 Indian rupees, and is aimed at the serious high-end enthusiast looking to game at that eye-watering 8K resolution with ray tracing enabled. This card is the first mainstream card to make 8K gaming possible, that too at 60fps, albeit with Nvidia's proprietary AI upscaling DLSS 2.0 solution. With these reveals and seemingly massive fan appreciation, Nvidia is looking to be considered as a consumer-friendly company once again. AMD needs to seriously up their game with Navi 2.0 to have any fighting chance this time around. The most interesting and shrewd tactic that Nvidia played with their graphics card this generation and the previous is on one hand stuff of business genius and on the other hand massively unfair to the owners of the RTX 20 series of lineup. The RTX 20 series launched at exorbitant prices, likes of which were never seen in mainstream GPU launches. The flagship RTX 2080 Ti launched at a massive $1,200, and this type of price increase trickled down all the way to the mid-range and the lower-end cards. They tried to justify it with new technologies like the introduction of ray tracing and AI upscaling, but with only few developers actually implementing these techs in their games, the RTX 2000 series seemed like the worst value for money offering from Nvidia ever. With the launch of Ampere lineup of things, however, everything has changed. The value for money proposition came back once again, and Nvidia regained the crown it was on the brink of losing. But did they really suddenly become this benevolent, this consumer friendly in matter of say months? This case is not so simple, you see. Before the RTX 20 series cards, the highest flagship card of every generation used to be priced around $600 to $700. Even if there was a massive performance gain like the jump from Maxwell to Pascal. If you wanted the absolute top-of-the-line graphics card offered by Nvidia, $700 was the most you were asked to spend to get that. The Turing 20 series cards was the first that saw this massive, almost unimaginable price jump from $700 to $1,200 for the top-of-the-line card. This expectedly came as a shock, but over time people were convinced that going forward this will be the standard with the lack of competition at the top end. But to everyone's surprise, Nvidia revealed the flagship next-gen Ampere cards with as much as 2 times the performance at massively reduced price from the previous gen. The thing is, they just went back to the standard pricing that was there before the massive Turing jump. They did not reduce the price, they just went back to the standard. This is what used to be normal pricing. The RTX 20 series was just too expensive for no good reason. But to the consumer, this came in as a significant price reduction, and this suddenly became the darling of the internet and average PC user. This is a brilliant business strategy, but a brutal one for the people who chose to be early adapters of the ray tracing bandwagon and went ahead and bought the super expensive RTX cards. Nvidia played a very clever trick here, and it worked extremely well it seems. Hopefully going forward we will not have to face such business strategies, as they sound good on paper, but is very unfair to the paying customer. I cannot begin to think what that dude is thinking right now who bought a 2080 Ti for $1,200 a few months ago.
No!
So that was all the news from the latest RTX 3000 series of lineup, guys. The GPU market is once again looking good and looking to be affordable, and it's good news for all of us PC gamers. Thanks for watching this video. Like it if you have liked it and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Take care and I'll catch you on the next one.